Hello everyone, this is Margarita with CityGal Papeterie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. On my channel you'll find a variety of paper crafting projects that I like to share with everyone. In today's video I am going to be creating an accordion style mini album with a folio. It is attached to the folio and I'll show you how to do that in this video. You're going to want to grab either two 12 by 12 sheets or one 12 by 12 and one 6 by 12, and I'll give you the measurements in just a moment. Here's an example of what we're going to make. So you see I opened up my little folio, which is closed with a hook and loop closure. You can use a ribbon or a rubber band or anything like that, and that's the accordion just opening up from the base of the folio. It's going to have a few pages for you to add pockets to, or flip pages, or other little folio tuck spots and the like. It depends on your preference and what supplies you have on hand, but this is basically what we are going to be making today. I've made this type of album in the past, but it was a very small version of it, and I wanted to have a larger one for larger photos. I'm going to be using this Cardabella paper from their Our House collection. For your cover piece, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 6 by 12 inches. It does not need to be pattern paper, but I do like using pattern paper, especially double-sided pattern paper, because it does some of the design work for me. And then for the accordion part, you want two pieces of cardstock that measure 6 inches by 11 1/4. Just be aware when you cutting your paper that you pay attention to the orientation of your images. If you do have images on your pattern paper, if you're using pattern paper, you want to have two landscape style images once you're completely done cutting your paper. So this was a 12 by 12 sheet. I cut off the branding strip, and now I'm making sure that my paper is 11 1/4, and then I'm cutting that down to 6 inches. So I have two pieces that are 6 inches by 11 1/4. Okay, so again, you want to make sure you have two landscape style pieces for the accordion. Once you're done cutting your papers, you're going to want to score them. If you don't have a scoreboard, you can make a mark where you want to fold your paper for your accordion. You're going to be creating score lines on the 3 3/4 inch mark and the 7 1/2 inch mark. My scoreboard does not go past 6 inches, so I'm just pushing my little score tool at 7 1/2, flipping my paper over, and then creating my score line. And technically it's also 3 3/4. So just so you're aware, it's going to be in 3 even rectangles. Then you're going to go ahead and fold your paper in the accordion style along your score lines, and you want to crease those folds in place. You're going to repeat this with your other piece that you've chosen for your accordion album. Once again, it's at 3 3/4 and at 7 1/2, or 3 3/4, flip your paper, and again at 3 3/4. Now, depending on how you want your album to look on the inside, if you're using solid color, it doesn't matter how you fold your paper. Obviously, you don't have a specified top or bottom, back or front. But if you're using a pattern, decide at this point what you want to be in the front, what you want to be in the back. And if you have a certain design on the front or back, like I do, I have a double-sided pattern paper, decide what design you want on the front, what design you want on the back, and if you want your design to go all the way across or on only half and half, like this. This is how I'm going to do mine. I want the front of my accordion to have one pattern, and then the back of it to have a different pattern, and it's going to be like a split look. So the first part of the accordion has one pattern and the rest has a different pattern. Now we're going to score and fold our folio, and the measurements are below. You're going to score at 3 1/4, and then at 3 1/2, at 3 3/4, and at 4 inches. At this point, you can flip your paper over and repeat those measurements with your score lines. If your scoreboard is larger, or you're marking your score lines, where you're going to be scoring, you're going to also score at 8, 8 1/4, 8 1/2, and 8 3/4 inches. Again, my board is small, so I'm going to just flip my paper over and repeat the first 4 measurements. Now I'm going to do a soft fold. I'm not going to use my scoring tool to press down my folds, because I want these folds all together to have a rounded look. And if I press them down, it's going to give it more of a square look. And see, so I want it to have a more rounded look. So this is what I call a soft fold. I'm just pressing the paper down at the score lines. And that's what our folio is looking like. Okay, you also want to decide what pattern or design you want on the front or inside of your folio. For this one, I choose to have the little houses on the inside and the scalloped image on the outside. Now you're going to take your your accordion, and we're going to adhere it to the inside of our folio. So once again, you have a couple of options here. This is what my accordion looks like right now. If you want to have an extended accordion, you can reverse your fold like I just did. And then you can grab a strip from what you've cut off of your 12 by 12 paper. Cut that down to 6 inches. And then fold it in half. And what I'm doing here is just making a joint to combine or to attach the 2 pieces of accordion together. See, so you would make like a little elbow and then adhere that together so you have a longer accordion. That's one option. I'm not going to be doing that because I want my 2 accordion pieces to connect with a pocket. And so I'm going to attach them there at the center, creating a pocket. I'm going to grab this 1.5 circle punch, and I'm going to punch a notch at the top of my paper there. You could also cut that notch out of both pieces. I only want to do it on one so I can see where the opening is. And then I'm going to grab double-sided tape. You could use stick glue, you could use wet glue, or you could sew it in place. I did sew my last album in place. I didn't use tape. But for this one, I'm going to use some double-sided tape. So I'm making sure I press my tape down really well. This paper that I'm using is very thick, so I want to make sure that I have my adhesive down really, really well, and that's going to keep my pieces together, especially since this is an interactive type of album and you want your pages to be able to be manipulated often and not fall apart. I'm adding adhesive to the sides and the bottom and leaving the top open so that I can keep that pocket. And now I'm going to adhere my top accordion piece to that lower accordion piece. I'm going to take a Teflon bone folder, and you can use any bone folder. You could use even the size of your scissors, the handle of your scissors. And I'm just going to press down where that adhesive is. Again, just to make sure it's nice and secure. So this is what I have so far. There's my pocket. And now I'm going to adhere this to the folio. I'm deciding which is going to be my very last page that's going to be attached to the back of the folio. And this piece obviously is not going to be showing because it's going on the inside of the folio. And once again, I'm repeating that process. I'm putting adhesive on 3 sides so that I leave the top as an opening. Making sure to punch a notch before I adhere it down. This is actually a 1 1/4 punch. I think I said it was a 1 1/2. And now I'm removing my adhesive backing, and then I'm going to line it up to the back of the folio. Now the measurements of the folio cover give you a little bit of wiggle room here. So that middle rectangle where you're going to be gluing this down is not the exact width of your accordion. So this way your folio is going to open and close with ease without crashing into the thickness of the accordion. And it also gives you a tiny bit of space for anything that might be hanging over your pages as you add, elements and photos and things like that. Now I'm going to press my adhesive in place, just making sure it's really, really well stuck on there. And now you can see where that other pocket is. And my friends, this is it for this album. I'm going to decorate it and show you what it looks like at the end. But this is the basic design for this album. And from here you can go crazy decorating it any way you'd like, adding flaps, adding pockets, adding little belts, adding tuck spots, and any other kind of design or element that you would like. That's the cover of my album. I did again use the hook and loop stickers to add for my closure. Here's a little folio on the cover. Not a folio, just a pocket in the folio cover. There's a tuck spot. I added this little hinged page that you can open up to add more photos or notes. Here's a pocket and another tuck spot for a photo. I put in there just a little marker so I can come back and add a photo there. And then when you flip your accordion the other way, again, there's more room for photos or additional pockets. Here's another pocket that I added. There's the pocket at the top with just a little card insert. You got to definitely make sure you cut that insert smaller than the pocket, of course, so it fits. And then the pocket in the back with some more elements and ephemera added to decorate. So that's what it looks like. And I'm probably going to create a bunch of these. I really like how these turned out. I love that they have that little folio cover, and that you can add as much or as little as you'd like. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you give this a try. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.